All right, I unmuted the mic as well, so everyone should be able to hear us, although the stream currently still does not show my desktop, but that to be fixed. Second. Okay. By the way, how you been doing? I know you tried to do the live stream, but it was pretty hard, right, to actually get time or.
Yes, absolutely. And today is kind of a miracle of this time because we're swamped with stuff. One day I'll tell you about all the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I mean, busy, but also try to get these things starting like newsletter and
Yeah.
videos is the most difficult part to record at the moment, but doing a bit of content like this is faster, but videos need to set up the lights and so forth, and
All
that
right.
takes time.
I like this meme. It doesn't. It's. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. I love this meme. This Black Friday, like a standard meme that used to happen on Black Friday. And I need to also, I need to move it to the live scene now. All right. I'm now live as well. So the live stream is live. I mean, we were live already discussing, but now I'm also live with the stream as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like this classic Black Friday meme, obviously. Like you like always waiting for the discount, and then they just increase the price and they give you the discount and you still buy it. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
in EU, and I guess in some states in US it's technically illegal now to theoretically do that. But what you end up doing is increasing the price a month before, and then you discount on Black Friday. Which
Yeah, it's very, very old strategy everybody is doing in the physical world.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and the physical, and the digital, obviously there's no people are more conscious in the digital world when you're
Yes.
trying to pull it off, because usually it also means you're also basing something on your brand value and everything. In the physical world, it's usually the resellers, not the actual brand selling the products. So the resell, like whoever's reselling, can do whatever they want with the pricing and stuff, and sometimes that badly reflects on the brand, but they do what they do. Okay, yes. So today was planned. We planned to do the Black Friday discussion. I had already had somewhat, like on the topic, had one live stream, which was with Paulina. I don't know if I believe you actually joined in the chat a little bit on that live stream. Not sure.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
think you did
yes.
for a little bit, yeah.
I was there for a bit, yes.
But yeah, um, the whole idea for this, I guess, is that like just helping people move forward with like their sales, their offers, and everything. Like because the Black Friday is basically in 2 weeks now, you could say. Um, in the physical world, generally people prepare for this like already like 2 months ahead. Like usually, even in September, they might be starting with some visuals, creatives, like their product, like some kind of even maybe videos with their product, etc. They might start very early, because especially if they're working with agencies,
Yeah.
etc. They need to provide all the material. I mean, so but in with digital sales, a little bit easier. But the reason why you generally want to start early, actually do something early, is because you want to be in front of people. You want to remind that you exist as well, because I have seen some creators who advertise their tool on Black Friday, but they have not messaged me once before they start the Black Friday. Like they have these very irregular like newsletters or whatever. So they only messaged me once, like basically when the Black Friday comes, and I'm like, "Who are you?" And then I remember who the person is, and it's been like, yeah, but like you haven't actually reached out to me for like, I don't know, 5 6 months, maybe the whole year. Like it's just off to just start like messaging people only on that one day when you're actually doing the sale. Um Yeah, so I'm just wondering like how you actually feel about that whole thing, because because generally like reaching out to people you should be doing much early. Even if you're like being lazy throughout the year, you should actually like do it as soon as like not as soon as possible, but as like you give like a 1 month already before Black Friday. Just already start like putting content
Yeah,
out, reminding people, re-engaging your
and-
newsletter if it's been a little bit
yes.
like a little bit like I don't know, you've been just not haven't been posting.
Yes, yes. I mean, I followed. I don't remember how many campaigns in e-commerce
Mm-hmm.
with all the old Black Friday thing, but plenty of them. And I remember, you start usually end of September, and all October you sort of go for, like you were saying, awareness. So you reinforce, you crank up the budgets a bit on the awareness, and you do, yeah, basically try to do a bit of lead generation somehow. For example, you get, it depends on of course the category, but you try to do a bit of lead generation or get contacts,
Yeah.
and then you sort of try to think about discounts and promos and so forth. And then, going there are two strategies. I saw some brands, they go sort of incremental
Mm-hmm.
discount strategy from November to, yeah, basically from end of October to November. You try to, rotate a bit the products in discount. You try to have some kind of discounts, general discounts on the store, and so forth. And you sort of go for this incremental strategy. You can do that, or you can simply literally keep telling your customers, look, we have a pre Black Friday, then we have a pre Black Friday, then we have a Black Friday, and these are some other strategies. So basically, they give you the discount way earlier than the Black Friday, like literally 1 month and a half earlier. So the Black Friday is just the date itself is irrelevant. So it's 2 months of discounts. But the strategy can be multiple strategies. What I notice is that, and what you were saying is very true. So most brands arrive at the Black Friday and they do something, only for the Black Friday, and then they disappear for other 3 months, 4 months. Okay, they do the Christmas usually, they do the New Year promotions, but they really don't take advantage of the whole year to get you to a sale. So they don't do awareness at all. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And in the recent years, it's actually been more common that the Black Friday campaigns are just extended for like I don't know, like at least a month. Like it starts like October, late October, sometimes even earlier. That you're just running those discounts. It's true. Like, and it's been more like it's been more visible last couple of years, except this year, by the way. This year, I noticed it's been like I believe it was partially because of the election. They actually delayed because it's pointless
Ah,
to try
yes.
to compete for attention when all the elections happening. Like not pointless, but you don't actually want to. There's a lot of charged energy as well around it. Like it's not good associations. Especially if people start labeling your brand like one way or the other politically as well. There's just like a lot of ways it could backfire. So I believe the brands simply wait, like especially the ones who would spend a lot of on advertising, they kind of waited for that period to pass and then they ramped it up like now. It seems to be the case this year, more than other years. But the other years they were already late. Last couple of years they've been like ramping up the campaigns in late October, early November. You would actually see like full Black Friday discounts. The whole November is basically black. Like you're just giving the and I think that's probably fine. But as you said earlier, yeah, the lead generation is obvious. The awareness and lead generation is something you should be doing starting like at least a month before Black Friday discounts. or even as you said, like the in ecom late September is usually when you already are preparing for the campaign, so or starting to do them, so for awareness budgets are ramped up. So during that period, like you're obviously just having the awareness campaigns, you're having like, oh yeah, we're gonna have, but sometime around early November usually, or a little, maybe you can still do it now, like in mid-November, still makes sense. You start like starting to pressure them a little bit more on you're teasing them with the deals. If you haven't launched yet,
Yeah.
you're teasing with the deals. Some kind of countdown starts appearing, like there's a landing page with a countdown now. There's like 2 weeks left. For example, you get like this cool discount. Maybe you get some kind of tease of like there's this early discount, and then you get like another offer later. Like there's obviously different strategies for this. So I'm wondering, like, if we're talking, like, let's say we talk, I guess our audience now, whoever will check it out would be like digital creators. Would you actually just run discounts already now? Because you'll also be worried that you will be competing for attention later with everyone else. Or
Exactly.
should you wait and try to like capitalize on the fact that during that time, the actual Black Friday, the energy is completely different and people are just spending money like left and right?
Yeah, I mean, with digital product, you have a bit of advantage in terms of distribution because it's the technically the amount of goods that you can offer is infinite, and you don't have to warehouse or whatever problems like this. But what I said is very true, and it's a matter of timing now because you have this kind of 2 months, and especially people like us, that buy apps, buy software, these kind of things, subscriptions. We are waiting for this time. Maybe we have something that we want to buy, and we know
Mm-hmm.
for sure there will be a Black Friday discount, right?
Yeah.
So for people like us that are very informed and very prepared for these deals, then you can. I mean, we don't need to wait for the Black Friday itself because Black Friday basically it's still tied to the physical shopping, right? You go to shop after Thanksgiving, so that's the thing. Um, but I mean, if we move into some kind of strategy, for sure you need to not to leverage your email list in this time of the year in a way that makes sense without saying without sending too many emails. But it could also be a lead generation process. I mean, it's a bit counterintuitive, but instead of selling now, you can get the emails and you can get your leads now and try to sell at later time. But now people are very into buying things, so they might discover you maybe not buying now because for whatever reason, but then you have so many other opportunities to sell in the next day, in the next months. You have Labor Day, Independence Day, every kind of day you can think of, New Year promotion, back to school promotion.
Yeah,
So
New Year can actually be a good trigger for many tools. Like start something next year, for example. Yes.
yeah. So you have so many opportunities right now to promote the product or an offer. That could be the same. It could be the same discount, but you just rebrand it and you just make a different banner, or without being black, it's red or white or blue or whatever.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
So that's
So
that's something to keep in mind when you that there are so many opportunities, and users are always looking for a discount for a product.
mm, okay, so yeah, you basically use this period of willingness to buy as a form as a form of lead gen. I get it. I guess that makes sense in this context, would be that you're actually using this period, like when they have willingness to buy, and you're using as a form of lead gen instead of selling. One strategy, which makes sense. You can because people are obviously usually focused on that end result, and everyone's like I guess like conditioned to also believe they need to sell during this time. But that's not necessarily true. You can use the period when people are willing to try, because there was that, I mentioned in a tweet as well, there was like this global survey. I mean, you can't always trust surveys because people say things, but I know myself also. It is true. I am more willing to like buy something different on Black Friday. It's a discount. It's something new I saw. Like I'm more willing to try it out during that time, the holiday season, the
True.
Black Friday. So it's true that like yeah, there's supposedly 56% of people are more willing to try, and whatever that number is, it is certainly s- noticeably above zero. So it is time to actually use that, and you can leverage. Yeah, as you said, you can leverage that period instead of selling directly. You can leverage them to get in a funnel, like as a lead, and then you can also warm them up a little bit, perhaps, and then tell them, yeah, you still get the offer, basically same price as you might run in on Black Friday. And I guess, and in a way, you can do both, right? You can do the lead gen, and then you can do an offer, even if they don't even if the offer doesn't get enough visibility, you can still continue warming up the people you got as leads.
True, true. I mean, you can sell. I mean, you can sell, and but imagine if you have a more complicated pipeline, or we were always talking about B two B and how different it is, right? To sell B two B. This is still a time of the year where the mindset is in the buy mode, right? Like Bitcoin right now. No, no,
Yeah,
everybody wants to buy Bitcoins now,
yeah,
and
because
it's a bit the same.
yeah, it's actually insane because the price is like 40% or 30% up in 1 month, and you're like, so you want to buy it, but already looks like and that's the craziest part. People want to buy now when it already went up instead of buying like before. I mean, especially if you trusted that Trump will win, you would expected that Bitcoin is likely, with Elon Musk, Bitcoin is likely being adapted more in the, perhaps in the,
Uh,
you would have expected to like kind of like buy already, but
and it's a bit of an illusion because you know it works with Bitcoin, right? I'm not saying, I mean, we don't need to discuss Bitcoin now, but right now it's a bit of a Ponzi, right?
mm-hmm.
Because at this value, unless you enter like these big whales, you enter and you buy tons of of Bitcoins, and the price go up. The normal person, even investing, I don't know, 5K, 10K, 20K, you don't get much. Okay, you get 25% more if you bought like 2 weeks ago, and now it's up 25%, something like that. But you don't get rich anymore. It's
Mm-hmm.
impossible to get rich anymore. But people like this sort of following the mass and getting this, seeing this number going up. It's nice, and it can be connected to what we were discussing about the Black Friday. Everybody's buying, so I'll also buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit the old Black Friday and Christmas time. So you know that in this time of the year, you are allowed to buy because you are spending less money, and you can get better deals by
Yeah, and
definition.
because you have that permission to spend, you are spending, because it's in a way permission. You're like been saving money or whatever. You've been also like not spending maybe as much on these things, but oh, but it's Black Friday. You can give that excuse to anyone in your family who might be also having some decisions. Be like, yeah, but it's Black Friday. We're buying. It's a discount too. Like it's like
Yeah.
yeah, obviously the permission to buy changes the behavior of people, so they're more likely to buy various new things, discounted offers that you're offering. So, and during that time, obviously anyone can leverage that. um, First of all, obviously you can leverage your own audience to sell the offer. You can also leverage the fact that there are curious new people probably wanting to, willing to buy your product. So that means you need to get in front of those people in some way. And that's part of the, also when I mentioned, I guess in the last live stream, is that that's the time where you actually want to have some, whatever you have in mind that could go viral. You kind of want to start it like earlier than Black Friday, just to get that audience also like engaging with your content, whatever you have. Like maybe that for some,
Mhm.
maybe even that means those value packed tweets that you have that just gets you more likes, because it's just looks like a really good value you're providing for people for free. Even that, like whatever gets you in front of those people gets you. Now the algorithm obviously will show them for a while after you have that content up, obviously. So whatever you can, obviously you want to kind of structurally think about it, like those weeks leading to Black Friday. Like what is your content looking like for software and like creators that have like selling courses? It obviously means that you need to be more active on just posting, more active posting your like some kind of value, some kind of whatever semi-viral tweets you can come up with. That's like the time you are you need to be like getting in front of people to remind that you exist and your product
Yeah.
offers exist.
I was checking a couple of things
Yeah.
while we were talking about. There's this, for example, there's this German language course called Rocket German, and they send emails basically at every possible occasion,
Yeah.
and there's always this 60% discount always. So there's Halloween sale, now the Black Friday sale, there's Christmas sale, New Year sale, and they use all kind of you know whatever day to try to sell. So that's one thing, and so why not? I mean, when I see 60% off a product, I'm always concerned about the value of that product. I
Yeah.
mean, you're selling now 90% discount, but it's an experiment. I know it's a scientific thing, it's not like it's a bit
No,
marketing,
you
of course.
obviously want people to pay at least something for it. Giving it for free is actually worse than asking at least something.
Yes.
There's I guess the problem is I'm in someone in my comments. You maybe you saw it. Wait, I might even be. I can pull it up, but because that challenge that you technically, I mean, I posted on it, but you technically challenged people. Like there's even I could pull this tweet on the stream browser here. Ah, gosh, because it's not logged in now. Oh, here. That was a reply to my tweet. Actually, the person now is offering 50% off for building an app, basically. So he's doing technically B2B.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a response actually to my tweet of the 90%. He's also doing his now because but the thing is like but I mentioned in a reply, which you can't see because apparently I'm not logged in on this guest account when I started a guest account on Chrome. But I replied is that also like when you do this, the problem is like with these discounts is that different price points attract different audience. So the part of your product
Yeah.
validation goes out of the window a little bit because you're getting different clients. Because at 90% off, obviously, I'm getting different people if I would be charging the base fee. So I can work a little bit on the processes, sure, but I am kind of like, it's not the same.
Yes. I mean, and what happens, and then, I mean, we discussed so many times about pricing. What happens is that when you have this kind of price, for some reason, you attract people with lots of questions that are not willing even to buy at that price.
Yeah.
It's easier for you to sell the 2.5K offer than this one. I'm sure you sold more of the 2.5 without questions or minimal question, and you're receiving more questions about this product.
Yeah, it's actually true. I have sold more 2 point something Ks than I have sold those 90% off, by the way. Like, they're not sold
Yeah.
out, by the way. I have sold two of them. I sold two of them. I have not even sold out those three offers, by the way.
And because you are positioning yourself
Yeah.
in the wrong way, you're saying, oh, this is cheap, and people think, oh, it's cheap, so it's not valuable. But when they say 2.5 for a lifetime
Yeah.
offer, they say, oh, that's a deal. And I mean, but this is a lot of money.
It still looks like a
And
deal. It's also a lifetime. Because think about it.
exactly,
I have
exactly.
sold like almost half of my sales on those consultations are actually lifetime. They're not buying the 5 or 10 to try out, they're buying lifetime right away.
It makes a lot of sense. And
Yeah.
these users, I'm sure they are like, I wouldn't say better users, but for sure are better clients for us, because
Yeah.
No many questions they understand the value, they understand what you're offering, and then you get the conversion, and then you take it from there. So it's true, the positioning, the pricing and positioning is so important, and we always try to please the customer with a discounted price. That's why also, if you offer a service and you discount it for Black Friday, you are going to attract these not so good clients, or clients with more issues than others, right? Because the good customer that is looking for really enjoy and leverage your service, um, want to need a discount. They will probably buy in May, whenever they need you, right?
Mm-hmm. So
So
yeah, and that's what I'm wondering. Like when you're going into Black Friday for digital sales, like I don't think discounting too much actually makes like, although people are more willing to buy, does it actually make sense to discount like 70%, 80%, 90% and just get a lot, like think about supposedly getting huge volume, because you'll need to provide some support. So I don't think it's worth actually going with like the massive discounts unless it's lead gen for a different service, maybe. Unless it's a lead gen for something more expensive. But I have a suspicion that I'd rather give like a lead gen for free on Black Friday rather than like try to discount something by like 70%, even if it's digital. No, because I have a little bit of obviously it depends, like is it a product like a book, is it a service, is it a productized like like service SaaS or something, because there's obviously a difference in involvement as well. So you're not going to be discounting service too much because you're just going to lose your basically hourly rate, for example. But for a
yes.
product, you still have some, like SaaS, you still have some costs associated with the product, and if you can't upsell more to them and you just give like some kind of, I don't know, annual deal for like a huge discount, are you helping to like raise awareness of your product that way, like by perhaps getting some additional reach by people recommending it, or you're just getting worse customers and they leave bad reviews instead? That's it's still relevant for Black Friday, even though like even though your people are more willing to buy, and perhaps like it doesn't, perhaps you just want to sell to those people, but there's obviously still that risk with the, I guess, the quality of the audience you end up selling to during this time.
Yes.
It's actually a hard question, because I don't expect there to be the correct answer, because for
uh,
physical products, how much you can discount it, because there's a margin that you don't want to go below, for example, and you usually
yeah.
do the upsells for something that is a high margin, but like actually like it's high margin, but you can actually upsell those on top of the discounted product. But in digital, it's not always the case.
Yeah, in the physical world, in ecom, you try to get rid of, older products,
Yeah,
or products that are not super top. So you have a catalog, and you can work on the catalog, and have
and you
different
can kind of
catalogs.
make a lot of back up by people spending more, so they just get all the upsells instead. So you kind of make the money
Exactly,
back. Yeah.
exactly. But yeah. No, I'm thinking about SaaS selling in this time of the year, and you can do a Black Friday promotion and consider it as a pure marketing move, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you sell under your margin, maybe like you were saying, maybe not the lifetime deal, but you can sell some kind of subscription or whatever,
Or you give
even
like the
lifetime.
first month for free, 3 months for free, something like that. Maybe some
Yeah,
crazy.
you try to sort of compensate for the lack. Either you go quantitative, right? So you said, okay, I won't bring one customer paying 1,000, but I will
Mm-hmm.
bring 10 customers paying 100, something like that. I mean, it's simplifying a lot. So for this time of the year, you do sort of a quantitative evaluation, or eventually you should always have an upselling thing. So maybe you sell the cheap plan, super discounted, but you
Yeah.
know you're going to upgrade them to the second tier as soon as possible because there's this super good feature that they will need. So it could be, I mean, it depends on the product, but it could be a very nice acquisition time, yes, for customers. Yeah.
Yeah, because regarding this pricing thing, listened to a interview recently, at least part of the interview. It was with Shopify's product lead, I believe, or one of the one of the people responsible for products at Shopify, and he previously worked at Udemy, and you know how Udemy does the 90% off, basically selling the courses for $10, for example. And his logic was that actually that because courses and the knowledge is generally just aspirational, so you're technically selling people aspiration, but you're selling courses at the price of a book. So the idea of setting that 90% discount to like 10 euros, for example, or not 90%, but generally just setting the price to 10 euros on that discount price is that first of all, it's like a discount. So it's already like some kind of FOMO urgency factor. But on top of it, it's framing the course as a book because it's the price of a like an average book on Amazon.
Nobody ever finished a Udemy course. I think.
Yeah,
I think
that's pretty
there's
much.
nobody, literally nobody. I don't know anybody. I have like 20 of them, and
Yeah.
I didn't finish a single
Yeah,
one.
but he also mentioned that because those courses are just knowledge courses, books are aspirational, you're just actually selling that aspiration, the hope, and everything for people. So it's not like you're selling the course; you're actually selling the aspiration, and you position the price to be on the same level as a book. So if people are willing to buy books, they buy the $10 course as well. So
Yeah.
that like that kind of logic. Supposedly that was how they worked. That supposedly was the framing at Udemy when he worked, and why they actually ran the discounts that way. And I guess that
Course. Yeah. Sorry. Go
yeah, I
on.
guess that applies also in these Black Friday digital sales. Like you can technically, I guess you can do those cheap discounts sometimes on Black Friday if you have some kind of idea what you can do next with that audience that you now received. You sell the cheap offer, like what's the next step you can offer them? Is that an upsell to a better plan? If it's a course, can you upsell something else later or right away as an upsell? Because I like the idea of, I guess we should also go over some like ideas of what you would actually do, like in terms of like, because last live stream I focused a lot actually on the emotions you should be working on, like on Black Friday, which is like obviously like there's an anticipation and the excitement of like wanting something. Some people are waiting for months already to wait for the Black Friday to buy something. Like you might be waiting, it's not just physical products, you might be waiting for someone to discount their course by 30%, for example. You have a like some pricing sensitivity, especially you might especially have a pricing sensitivity, and it's not urgent to you, but you want to. There is that aspiration as well, and you have this anticipation for that discount. Now, you might, as a creator or as someone who made something, you might not feel it, but people around you, the audience, might actually have that feeling. And I wonder, like, is there a way for you to like gauge, like understand the interest in that discounted pricing without like waiting for Black Friday? You could run like these short-term discounts, but you can also might convert also all the other people who would convert anyway. But you just discounted the price. There's also obvious risk. So Black Friday is kind of like that excuse where you can there's more willingness to buy, and you can kind of like address that audience that might have not purchased at a higher price.
I mean, if you resist the temptation of having other discounts during the year and you
Mm-hmm.
just go for the Black Friday, I remember a couple of times, I don't remember which software was back in the days. I really waited 1 year to buy it. I
Yeah.
wanted to buy it in January and I waited for the Black Friday, I remember. And there was no discount at all. Now this everybody is not doing this anymore, especially indies and people
Yeah.
like us. They try to discount because they want to crank up their monthly revenues, so they just do discounts as soon as possible and whatever they can. But if you can resist this urge to have a discount during the year, and you can literally build the momentum, and the Black Friday can pay you back, I guess.
Hey,
But answer your question, I don't know how you can measure. Probably is well, you can literally look at your funnel, how much drop you. I mean, it's not scientific, I'm just thinking here. I literally didn't think about it, but it's interesting. You can check your funnel and see the drops at the pricing and run some A/B tests there. So you can literally try to have a discount as an A/B test, not public, but drive 20% of your traffic to an A/B test, to a discounted page, and see what kind of conversion rate you have there. I think
mm-hmm.
this probably some brands do that. Of course, it's time limited, unique codes, so you try to limit, and you don't want this to be super public, but you try that.
We
I
have
think
a
Logitech was doing something like this. Logitech was doing some deals with some codes
yeah.
for some
I
products.
think
Yeah.
Logitech actually was, and there were some other ones. I also noticed actually. There's been like almost 10 minutes ago, but Miguel was on Twitch chat. He was actually asking, "What about high discount for a lifetime bundle? Pay 149, for example, dollars today and get all courses for lifetime, including future courses." Basically, he does have a drawing course website, the doncorgi.com. Yeah, I believe that was. So I think he's thinking about like whether he could do a large discount for a bundle. I think bundle discounts actually make sense because you can, instead of buying individual course, often people would buy the bundle on Black Friday because they're kind of like have this they'd be like, oh wow, it's all discounted. And there's also a FOMO element during that time in play that you might not get it later and you would need to pay everything. So if you want
Yeah.
to draw or learn drawing or whatever, you're kind of more inclined to buy a bundle when it's on like that kind of like a offer.
I guess depends on his objective and his. We always go back to the audience, right?
Yeah.
Remember, we discussed many times the Danny's course on NCO, and how he sort of did a brilliant move and basically sold so many pre sales
Yeah.
without even writing a single word. That was brilliant. And in that case, it makes sense. I'm thinking about somebody like Miguel. Well, I don't know, but he probably doesn't have a big audience, so it's not like, okay, I'm pulling this bundle and I built an audience to a point where everybody was super curious about my product. They want it, but it's super expensive, right? So at some point, I build the momentum. I build the momentum, and say, okay, fuck that. This is the bundle. Today, you get it for this amount of money, right? Because if you're not building this momentum, this flow towards the promotion, then it doesn't make sense to have to discount just for the sake of selling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the users won't perceive the opportunity, like you were saying, the scarcity, the timing part of the promotion. So it's just, okay, it's a bundle, but what's the real value of that? Was it like 2000, now it's 100?
Now people don't believe
Or
even that when you put that discount, people don't even believe
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is his goal, because if he wants to sell a couple of more courses, then it kind of makes sense.
I
But
guess for
you,
him, the problem would be that I assume that's the problem is that I think his main audience is just people from Google visiting blog posts and etc. etc. And that the platform itself might not have a lot of like dedicated audience, which I think is like that. Yeah, he has 3.6K newsletter subscribers, and he has not been warming them up to this point. So
okay,
I would say like you should start warming up like today, like tonight, like just start warming them up. Like
okay.
I don't know how you will warm them up. I'm not sure like how frequently you're posting there. What exactly you're like what is their expectation from you? Because just because they subscribe doesn't mean are very loyal. That's also a factor, obviously, because maybe your way you got them to subscribe was that you offered them some kind of discount that they could get for free as a pop-up on the website. And unfortunately, that usually there's a lot of people who be like, "Oh, I would love to have a discount," but they subscribe, they don't use the discount, and they're just there on the list. They maybe open some of your emails, but they're not very like loyal in that sense. So it obviously would very important to know what the metrics are actually for you, even like open rates, and like have you been like leading them somewhere before to landing pages? Like, do they spend time on them? Do they convert? Is there some kind of idea of what you could expect from your audience?
I mean, 3.6K is a lot
I mean, it's
for newsletter.
I
It's
mean,
a good
sure. For
audience.
I mean, if you'd expect like a generic, like that you could maybe convert like 5 to 10% sometimes from your newsletter if they're engaged somewhat. I mean, could be a good deal. I mean, it
Yes.
depends. Like if they like if you currently convert people, if you currently convert people from the newsletter to something, is there already an expectation that they should be like that they should see some kind of new offer, new course that you launch a new kind of drawing, whatever course it is, and they be like, yeah, I'm buying this from the newsletter. Is there like some interaction like that as well? Because I
You're
mean,
asking Miguel or you're asking me?
both, I guess. I mean, like because I'm wondering because he mentioned it again, yeah, that he has been contacting them weekly, so that technically they are if they're
Okay,
opening,
I'm on Twitch now. I'm on Twitch.
yeah,
I
on Twitch.
registered on Twitch, so I can see the chat.
Yeah, the live stream has the chat as well on the screen, but unfortunately the chat is black, so you can't actually see it on this tab. You can only see it if I switch back to this.
I see it now. I was thinking it makes sense. For example, you have a bundle of old products. So I don't know if I can tell you about my experience. I have the old book about Google Ads and the
Mm-hmm.
old book about Facebook ads that actually never published. But they went through a complete rewriting. And then what I say is that get the old bundle that is still value, or you see this very often for books on Unity or for like programming language like JavaScript before the ECMAScript 6 and whatever. You get these bundles for old books that are still valid for a certain percentage, but of course they're missing the new stuff. So it makes sense for that, saying, okay, the old stuff is there, but the most important part of having the old stuff bundle is having a new thing to sell. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have this, we tend to update on new courses, new freebies, new guides. Yeah, launch a new update to one today even. Exactly. So that's the thing. You should sell the bundle as sort of a bait in a good way. I'm not saying deceiving customers, but you say, look, the all content is here and it's discounted. So get it. But the new one is, of course, pricier and it's there already. So you can get all the new stuff. So you make money out of your old warehouse inventory and create sort of expectation and create fear of missing out as well for the new one, because you need to push a lot on the new one. Say, look, the old bundle is whatever, but in the new one, there's this new section about drawing whatever that is super good, and we featured a Japanese manga author or whatever. You see the point, right? So this is how I was
Oh yeah,
structured
that's what I actually wanted to mention. One thing is this. Black Friday exclusives, like something exclusive for Black Friday that you almost make like a FOMO that's not coming back. Like yeah,
also.
like
Also,
something extra for Black Friday. It can work quite well. Like if you were like Black Friday offer, I have this new completely exclusive Black Friday offer. Like there's this new section or something like something on a tooling for drawing or whatever, or like your course that is not coming back and it will never be like you won't be able to access it. You get it in this bundle together with the rest of the products, and that kind of that that kind of improves your ability to position that offer, even if it's a bundle and maybe more
Yes.
expensive if you're selling, or even if you do your own product, like you might get that extra conversion by just being like, yeah, I have this extra like Black Friday exclusive added on top. So you buy my product, you also get this extra. And oh, and he plans now to maybe do the 2 tiers with the old bundle 99 and the new flashy bundle 149. I mean, the anchoring obviously does help if you can find a good anchor. I'm not sure if it's the new old versus new bundle, but the price anchoring would help as well if you can find some kind of way
Yes.
to anchor the price for it to look like
Yeah.
a really good deal.
Yes, exactly. And the old price should be clearly cheaper, clearly cheaper, but the disadvantage should also be very, very clear, very evident. I mean, you could get this, it's still good, but you're missing these new sections and so forth. And of course, it's more. Is a bit. I mean, it's a lousy comparison, but it's like, would you still get the iPhone, 15 when you can get the 16 with the super duper new camera that is 0.0, zero point 0.2 better than the other
I
one,
mean,
but
I
it's better.
personally would actually buy the 15. Um, I personally would buy the 15 on because it's just cheaper for like $100 or something, whatever. Just fuck. But I know it actually
Yeah,
upsells
but
because the difference is so small. You actually end up buying the better one, the
Mhm.
newer one. But I
Yes,
personally would
yes.
actually save the money. But I know a lot of people, like I myself, on many products, I end up being converted to a newer version just because like the difference is so small. You like, why would you not buy the more expensive one? It's newer, right? It's a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's not really a good example for Miguel, but the pricing arbitrage is an art, and he has to test. He has to test on this, in my opinion, because he has things to sell and he has new stuff. So the new stuff should be way more valuable
Mm-hmm.
than the old stuff,
Yeah,
and this
because
has to be evident.
and when he shows the price like old 99 and the new 149, I actually feel like that is like almost like the same price bracket, like in decision making, that you basically would more likely be upsold on the new bundle for 149 instead of the 99. I kind of have because there are these price brackets, like you below like $49 or $29, like you have like this one price bracket, and then like somewhere in between, like I don't know, like 49 and like maybe 199. You have kind of like a very broad, I think, bucket for like digital courses where they're kind of in a similar consideration level. um so if you're putting all of them in the same bucket, I think it more like works as an upsell to the even the more expensive bundle often, which I think is actually a good thing for you if you can pull it off. But it's all about testing. You don't know. We don't know how your audience reacts to those prices because we don't actually know like what's the usual like buy price for individual course or whatever you're selling. So
Well, yes, yes, it has to be balanced. And another thing could be that you always have some kind of no, that doesn't make sense. No. But 3.6 thousand users in a newsletter. I mean, I have three in my newsletter at the moment. One is you,
not bad.
one is
Yeah.
some guy. I mean, it started today, but I mean, jokes aside, the value is big, especially because he needs to test first. I mean, I would love to understand how reactive is this audience when he posts something. It's the operate is 0.01 or the operate is 15%.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 15%, he has a bit of a gold mine there because it's
Yeah.
super niche. Thousand, I mean, 700 niche good potential users that are constantly reading the
And
newsletter. So
yeah, and I don't
not
even
bad.
like no because I don't even post my newsletter. I should post more actively because I have like somewhere between like 40 and 50, I think, subscribers on my newsletter. But I'm not like I've posted 2 editions. I should just be posting like every week at least as I wanted to, because I have the welcome series too. I have like 4 or 5 emails that go out when they join, and my open rate is around like what Shopify reports. The open rate is around 70%. Uh, and that's without, I believe, iOS tracking being correct, because I don't see people who I know are on iPhone devices sometimes even opening it. Like I can see who's opened it, but I have checked a couple, so I'm not entirely sure what the actual open rate is. It might also be overinflated because of the same. But it's
Yeah.
supposedly appearing as 70%. So I know, like, I think I should be posting more. Just
Yes, look what I'm doing. I don't know if it's gonna be
the
good or
tweets,
not,
right?
but
Yeah.
yeah, the tweets you just maybe expand a bit the tweets, and I
Mm-hmm.
have a good tweet going out 10 p.m. tonight about something I was thinking about now a bit into the sort of the pre-click phase, because I'm working with three. Tomorrow I have four potential client that I'm helping with Facebook ads. Only for
Yeah.
Facebook ads, I have four clients at the moment. One is way advanced. We are into, well, actually now we are into scaling for Black Friday, so it's a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
Um, but others are a bit in the initial phase, and it's very interesting, and we are literally seeing how the right angle and the right nailing your persona, nailing your target user, literally
Mm-hmm.
makes complete difference with ads. But I'm thinking about everything, you know. So I'm literally researching on that area, and I'm putting out this post in two parts. I'll share it with you, and maybe on small bets as well. But yeah, just quickly mentioning the scaling. I mean, the Black Friday scaling is a crazy thing. Big e-commerces, you probably follow some of them.
Mm-hmm.
The intraday scaling, intra-hour scaling. There e-commerce that are managing the budget every hour, and for different regions and whatever, pushing money, and sometimes it's a lot of money, because this period and towards Christmas, it's crazy. You pump it up, and of course the CPMS are super high, but at the same time you're pumping a lot of money because, like you were saying at the beginning, people are buying now. They buy everything from Christmas decorations to clothes and whatever. So they have this permission to buy, as you were defining it, and they're just buying. So e-commerce is there saying, okay, you're buying, I'm selling. And they pump so much into ads, that is crazy. And doing this on Facebook ads is an art. Not many can do it. It's crazy because you can burn money easily if you don't have stop loss rules and this kind of things. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to be technical, but it's crazy. For some brands, it's really Q4, and especially the last basically 100 days of the year are crazy.
And I guess oh yeah, I mean, Miguel also shared like, yeah, 40% open rate. I mean, that's actually good for him. Obviously,
That's a lot.
2% click. That's
That's
pretty.
not.
That's not that good. Yeah, depending on what
Yeah.
exactly the click, like what the actual, obviously the clicks, like what
Yes.
actually there is in the, what the offer is,
Exactly.
what the CPA
Share,
is.
Miguel, share the newsletter with our big audience, so you get some subscribers, and I will also check what you put in those emails. I mean, I'm curious because
Mm-hmm.
40% opening rate average, or I mean, if it's an average 40% is good.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
sure about
very
that.
good.
Yeah, we shared that, but still,
Either you pick the best one.
we can obviously check his yeah.
But 40% on average, it's incredible. I mean, it's you should literally just work on your newsletter in terms of acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do anything else because you have an audience there.
I mean, he still then needs to focus on getting people in the newsletter. So um, perhaps a little bit more. I don't know if there's pop-up banners or whatever is being done right now, but
Yes,
offers
on
as well,
registering.
maybe small discounts and whatnot. Just everything you can do to get those people, depending on the resource where they go. Obviously, you kind of need to target them based on also where they're coming from. Like, they go to the blog post, do
Yes.
they go to some like course directly? Maybe you have like SEO directly to a course or something.
Yes. And Miguel has to buy your offer. You have still one slot, right? So we can help him with the newsletter. So we will help him with the newsletter, but he has to buy your last spot on the
He
on the
has to
offer.
buy my last spot. Yeah, 90% off. Oh yeah, speaking of
Okay.
that, you said like that Facebook book, is that ever coming out?
Um, so I have a ton of materials. I don't know if I share a screen, you can share it with your audience as well.
Uh, yeah, that's a
Not
good
really, yeah.
question.
But
I would need to,
I
yeah, I would
have
need to set up a different source for the.
I have a huge amount of material and literally not much time. So I'm trying to get out some kind of smaller pills of knowledge
Mm-hmm. Now that makes
because we
sense that you can use it as now as a
yeah.
Twitter and everything newsletter content.
Yeah,
So
but it's a lot of people is interested in doing Facebook ads right now.
yeah.
I'm receiving a lot of requests. I mean, last time when Daniel sort of mentioned me to a son, I got a bit of ex celebrity, so I got some requests from there. But in general, I see also from other channels there's a lot of requests for Facebook ads, and they still work. They still work very very nicely for
Yeah, I think
many
the
niches.
average
Yes.
person we get to when we did the spaces and everything, we didn't get in front of people who actually have the budget to spend as well, like a real budget to spend. Like someone a little bit bigger creators, I guess, they have a little bit more successful products and more to sell. Uh, Maybe some kind of funnels already set up. It actually makes sense that uh, for them to do Facebook and want to do Facebook ads. But I guess with our spaces, we don't usually also reach those people to join our calls. I mean, our calls usually. So we didn't really convert from there. I think that's
It's
part of the problem.
yes. It's also what they're selling because uh, still the SaaS for Facebook ads, it requires a very different funnel than a course or
Mm-hmm.
than a physical product or than a cream or whatever. It's different things. So it's the old indie hackers or makers problem, right? They are trying to sell to each other things and they won't buy. So you need to go in the right to the right audiences, actually people who are looking for products. And actually most makers, they make products for other makers. They don't make products for normal people,
Yeah.
that's a paradigm that they need to change, because then they want to promote and they don't find audiences, but because other indie hackers are nowhere else than maybe on X,
Yeah.
or they're not on Facebook anymore. And so it's a matter of product. When I see that the product is right, then Facebook flies. Facebook has a still incredible, incredible good. Facebook, Instagram. Um, we are doing with one client. We're starting to do TikTok, but in a way that I will tell you one day. It's a bit different, um, and those platforms have still return, especially if you do a multi-channel strategy.
By the
So
way,
yeah.
what I wanted to, yeah, there's someone in the small bets community, I believe, in that channel was now like he was asking about X ads actually, and he was trying to, I believe, sell. I don't know. He said like he mentioned that he has done Amazon ads before, so I'm not sure what he's selling, physical product or a book. But he says he's tried X ads and he got no sales after like 200 clicks or whatever. And I generally said that people just don't suggest people generally suggest like marketers suggest not doing X ads at all. Like, would you actually run X ads for Black Friday if you would have a product? I personally think if you have a choice, you would just spend it on somewhere else on ads, like Facebook, Google, whatever. You would not
Yes,
be
yes, yes.
going into the X ads. I even have seen some campaigns from ecom, and there were like, for one of them, like 30% of the traffic was from specific locations, and I could pinpoint that those locations are where cloud servers are for Google and AWS. So that was just bot traffic. Like, there was literally bot traffic just taking the campaign money.
X is too shady to buy traffic and to buy ads there. You see all these bots since literally since it cranked up since Elon won the elections, because
Yeah.
Elon won the
I
elections.
mean, he's basically the de facto president now. He's joining all the
Yes,
calls.
exactly.
He's
This is the
in.
CTO.
He's at Trump's like Mar-a-Lago. Like, he is the president now. So
This is the
if you
president.
think it's
Yes,
Trump, no, it's Elon. Like, it's Elon. Elon is the
because
president now.
he's richer and he has more. Is a bigger audience and he's richer than Trump. So it's basically the president. But I get like 5 to 10 bots every day, followers, and I can only imagine really big profiles how many of them they get.
Yeah. No, it's
So
it's
it
also
got worse.
annoying. It's so annoying. I
It's
even have
super
it on the
annoying.
Twitch streams as well. There's like a person joining. They say like, oh, they follow you, so be like, oh, thanks for the follow, and then they be like, oh, I haven't watched you but much, but I just followed you, and then they be like, do you need like a profile picture or a banner created, right? And they be like, and if you don't respond to them, in the chat they ask, so is it a yes or a no? And I'm pretty sure those are
Uh-huh.
automated bots listening to the audio feed, and if I say yes or no, they just say, oh, okay, and they leave.
You get into some. Yeah, no, no, I won't spend money. I mean, I've literally very low experience, very small experience on X.
Yeah, I'm
But
not like, obviously there are a couple people with like Daniel who has the 1,000 a monthly subscription with X. He gets like the budget, so technically he has access to that ad money that builds up. I believe he like, basically, if he's not spending it, it rolls over for some period. So technically, he, for example, has the budget
uh,
to spend. He has
yeah,
budget to
yeah.
spend on something, so he has something to test with because he gets that free credits part of this
Then it
yellow
makes sense. Yeah.
yellow chain. But for other people, I don't think you should be even trying. Like, I don't think there's compared to. And Miguel also asked about the Reddit ads. Do we have experience? Not really. Like, I kind of have tried compared. Not really, I guess. Yeah, but I mean,
Uh,
some people say it's good, but I haven't. I have now. Some people say they have made it work, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I know. Look, I know. I never work directly because I always suggested not to run Reddit campaigns.
Mhm.
But I have like 4 companies I know, and there's also one guy from the small bets.
Yeah.
I mean, privacy wise, I won't name it, but he told me like, oh, I was super excited. I'm running this Reddit ad, and I said, look, you will get zero, and he actually got zero, like these three other clients.
Yeah.
Um, there's too much noise there, and the the user intent is too broad. um, Facebook has a better, let's say, user experience for ads. Is a platform built for ads.
Yeah.
On Reddit, they try to monetize with ads after some years, so it's
While
not a platform made for ads.
Yeah, they try to monetize with ads now, but at the same time, they actually hate any content that is basically that is commercial. They hate content that is commercial on Reddit. They hate that you try to advertise. They hate that they ban you, whatever. But at the same time, they try to monetize with ads. I don't think those two things are actually very compatible, because that means the person who sees the ad is frustrated with the fact that they still get to see an ad. Like, they hate
Yes,
like
yes, yes.
that you're targeting them with something commercial. So there is that
Yeah.
mismatch, I think. Now, I know that some people say they can do good campaigns with Reddit ads, and I'm not sure if they consistently can do it. I'm not sure. Like, I would like to actually see some of those people who do, and I would like to see like how their Reddit ads compared to something on Google or Facebook. I would actually like to see like whether they're actually getting that good value on the Reddit ads, like the ROAS, for example, compared to Facebook. Like,
No, I don't think you get ROAS from Reddit. The only semi good example that I saw was a very broad campaign for software, and I mean Reddit was just doing pure awareness. So the click-through rate was horrible, and track conversions from Reddit was almost zero. But it helps building volume in certain niches, because the advantage of Reddit is the special niche where you can advertise, right? So you can decide
I mean, yeah,
which
you just
subreddit.
you run very broad, I guess, between platforms. Your blended ROAS, for example, is fine, so you just continue running the Reddit ads as a one channel. Yeah, I mean, but that's not a strategy for, I guess, the person we want to currently talk to. You know,
No,
like
no, 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 no.
then you
Absolutely.
yeah, obviously you should be looking based on your product. Like you should be looking at like Google ads shop, or is it shopping for physical products too, or just Facebook ads, which I guess seems to be doing very great for all kinds of products. Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
meta ads, basically. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I unfortunately need to leave.
Yeah.
As you can probably hear, my daughters are starting to freak out, so I need to feed them.
It was a decent conversation. Yeah.
I loved it. Yes, yes.
I stay
Hopefully,
around a little bit more and need to also figure out the setup for streaming more as well, just to also get the
yeah.
guest cameras as well added. But it actually is functionality in Streamlabs. I just haven't played with it. So some other time we could play with it. We could actually get the
Of course,
guests ready
anytime,
on
anytime.
screen as well.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you,
Thank,
everybody.
yeah, thanks for joining.
Ciao.
See
Bye
you.
bye.
Ciao. All right. I will continue going through a little bit. Obviously, we have our main guest has left, but I'll just go over it a little bit. By the way, yeah, Miguel, thanks for the stream, but I'm actually not fully done. But obviously, thanks to Francesco for joining. For anyone else, obviously, whoever watches replay or now, I also want to remind also the emotions you would be playing in, just like from the last stream, that you would be playing in during Black Friday. That's like the anticipation and the excitement, because people want to buy. People just want to buy. They wait for the discount on Black Friday for months. So there's a lot of arguments why you need to play into that anticipation, and you can even continue building it up. People already might be anticipating, but you need to like give them a reason to like just wait a little bit longer, not buy something else. Maybe if you're competing with something else on the discounts, and they might want to also consider buying something else. You kind of want to tease them a little bit, you know, like you build that. It could be that you like tease the deal without fully revealing what exactly is going to happen. You just tease that it's coming, and there will be like a good discount. There will be maybe some kind of special offer, you know, like as I'm already had it here, you had these Black Friday exclusives, and that might be part of your yeah the info small bets, Miguel. I'm just gonna quickly mention these couple ideas as well about the emotions. People are definitely curious, and that goes back. So the curiosity is another emotion that like a feeling people have during Black Friday campaigns. So that goes back to this statistics of 56% of people surveyed more likely to try new brands. So there's a curiosity aspect of trying something new out. So you could be like, there's gonna be like, and what you can also do even with existing audiences, that you can do like some kind of mystery offer during Black Friday, and you ask them to subscribe, to the newsletter. If you have this mystery offer of like some kind of package deal that perhaps is exclusive as well. Like back, you can combine this with exclusive deals or anything. Like you'd be like, yeah, but if you like subscribe to the newsletter, you get access to this. And this might be that if you subscribe to the newsletter, you get access to this special deal, like this exclusive deal. So the mystery offer, and you only get it if you subscribe to that specific newsletter. But you but if they wait for Black Friday, like later, they can get like the standard deal, and that might be just that you're pretty much revealing the same deal just earlier for people who subscribe, or it could be that you simply actually reveal a different deal for the other people, and that might actually be that you double down on multiple purchases if you because maybe the mystery offer is something that maybe doesn't sell as well usually, but you're just giving it a discount with a different spin, maybe something updated, and then on the Black Friday you just do the standard flagship product discount. That's a strategy I've actually seen executed, that you have like these separate deals. And there's even like, and that works well, like leading up to the Black Friday as well. That you start with some kind of teasing with the mystery offers and everything. But what you would with the curiosity, you should if it's a new audience that you're reaching for Black Friday, because they're more likely to spend, but they're also more likely to buy new products. You really need to work on like showcasing what your product does. You need to remember that there will be a lot of new people, so they might not be as familiar with your product, like a new audience, fresh audience, like a cold audience, you could say. So you need to showcase what your product does, what the added value is from that product before, like to make sure that new audience that you might be reaching now that are willing to buy, but they might need a little bit more convincing. This is where you need to, this is why you should be focusing. It's always a good thing to do that, right? But you want to make sure that is ready for that cold audience on Black Friday, because sometimes especially as creators, people might forget or not notice the fact that that during the black that their audience that buys in the end is actually relatively warm audience from their social media following or some kind of community, etc. That they're not a newsletter as well. They're not actually cold buyers. That a cold buyer percentage, like who have not gone through like quite a long warming up process to your like personality and to whatever credibility you have, um, that they will need a little bit of more that showcase of value and that convincing. So that's the same also where you're not just showcasing. This is also where you might want to offer newsletter, for example, or a lead magnet for free, just to warm them up, because they get in the funnel, like the newsletter funnel, and just warm them up. Now, another emotion you really can leverage around this holiday season, especially Black Friday and Christmas, is generosity, because might they might buy it as a gift for a family member or a friend. I would personally say this is actually huge. Uh, Depending on a product, even courses I think can work that way. I know I have bought books for people as gifts. Even for clients as well. I have bought books for clients as gifts a couple times. So it's a time where you might want to leverage the fact that people are willing to buy something as a gift for someone they care about or who might benefit from it, and that generosity aspect could be tapped into messaging, into copywriting as well. That like, or maybe 1+1 deal, like so, buy one get one for free. Well, that works better in physical products. Perhaps you can do it with digital. So you get a gift, you give the gift to someone, but because they're getting that 1+1. Here I will mention like +1, buy one get one. One plus. Because they might be more feeling more generous, even if the person who receives it doesn't want it or doesn't care about it. You have convinced this person perhaps to buy it for themselves too. and they know that that value would be nice because maybe they follow the person, but they haven't convinced themselves to buy it. Now they're buying it, be like, wait, but I also want to buy it for someone else. I know it would probably benefit for. So because they're technically giving it half off, and someone else is getting it for the half price. Just like there's the logic that goes in your head, right? So that's FOMO is like basically the one thing that everyone works on, right? It's the once in a lifetime deal. The once in a lifetime deal, you're not getting it. It's the limited quantity deals. It's the limited time countdowns. It's obviously the price goes up after Black Friday, so they already know it's expiring offer. Like it's not just the limit; it's similar with the limited time, but that's also the reminder that the price itself is going up. Like you can use it in the messaging just to increase that, um, increase that way to convince people by reminding in like words exactly what it means that the price is going up. It's not just time running out on a deal; it's the price that goes up again. So that's maximum FOMO. And obviously, another emotion will be satisfaction. Uh, this is a steal, for example, is a good feeling to have on Black Friday. If you feel like you're getting a steal, it like what goes under this is that it motivates to recommend and share with others. This is what this is the steal feeling makes people do. So what that means is that you can use it also this as a email sequence. Ask for people to recommend. Like you can set an email sequence after buyers on Black Friday from Black Friday campaigns, and an email sequence you can ask them to recommend it because it's on a deal. Like it's a discounted deal. So at that time you can actually new customers can be convinced to also recommend it to others. So that's why you want it to be a good deal. And for that satisfaction, yeah, obviously, yeah, you also want to showcase like the savings and everything, like what kind of quality uh, life improvement it is for the product, but for the idea that the deal is good, that's what matters. And trust is also important for new customers because again, we're going back to the about the statistics. We're going back to this all the time. That the new more likely to try new products. So trust is very important for new customers. Even though you should always see having those elements on your landing pages, it's even more important that for new audiences that are willing to try that trust, basically that the trust and those and that unique value proposition of your product is highlighted very clearly. Like that might be like a good video, might be really good, nice visuals, whatever that quickly explains to the person what it means. Because obviously they will still be making quick decisions. They will be spammed with a lot of ads and offers. So you want to make sure that you communicate it as quickly as possible, especially if that's through social media. But for new customers, acquiring new customers, the trust is what you want to make sure for Black Friday is as good as possible. So if you're understand your target audience as well, or what the target audience for the Black Friday is, if you're running different campaigns, you want to make sure your targeting is like very, very precise for that audience, that they understand that you talk to them, that you understand them. So that builds trust. And while it's always important, it's just that because of this dynamic that more people, new customers show up around this time of the year because of that permission to buy. You want to build trust as quickly as possible and as convincingly as possible so they purchase during this, for example, this period. Because when the price goes up and the Black Friday is over, even if you have them in the newsletter, they'll be not as willing customers anymore. So you need to kind of accelerate that. And this obviously means your trust is like you highlighting the brand, right? You real user feedback and reviews. Ideally, visual, video, image, right? Yeah, offer guarantees, obviously, the money backs. Basically, as I mentioned last live stream, actually, you want it to be guilt-free purchase. They can purchase and always refund, so they don't need to worry about it. That's part of the trust, but it's like a secondary trust because people still need to make the purchase to actually for the guarantee to be valid. But this removes that, and it's already with Black Friday permission to buy. You want to make sure you make that purchases guilt-free, and you have a winner there, right? And obviously, with the FOMO, there's also obviously another emotion I quickly want to focus: urgency. Yeah, urgency is just that you run flash sales, quantity limits, timers. It's similar as FOMO. It's just that the FOMO, I meant that FOMO people might miss out, but urgency is just direct, raw targeting of those emotions of you need to convert now. And I'll obviously be done with the live stream soon, but we obviously talked about random stuff for a long time too, but and hopefully we also helped Miguel a little bit because he had an actual real use case in the chat. And I'm happy actually that we managed, I guess, to help it a little bit. Obviously, there's one thing that I want to showcase still is that I have this one slot available on this offer. So this is Paper Insight offer that I showcased yesterday. I put it on, there's 3 slots. There's actually only 1 slot available, right? Yeah. So the opportunity for this is that you provide access to all the data you have and like what exactly you're trying to do with your like project, etc. And you give me the access to data and everything, and and every week I give you a single insight, basically, whether that's based for ads, like audience targeting, like business operations, whatever, conversion optimization, SEO, product, tooling use, and everything else. You get that. You get that insight, 1 insight a week. I just compile it, what an insight really is. An insight is basically me describing the current state of things as I see them, and then providing like a kind of bullet point plan of what you can do about it and improve it and change it or whatnot. So that's what I label an insight, and currently it's 90% off. There's 1 more slot left right now at this price. I know at 90% off, $49, it actually looks, it's bad positioning, as Francesco said. These the problems occur with the 90% offs because at the same time yesterday I sold an unlimited consultation plan for 2.5k, right? But I have struggled selling this one, for example. And I'm being real, like I sold 2 of those 3 limited offers and I can't sell the 3rd one, although I have actually sold more consultation offers at higher prices, which I would generally say if you have like an established business like this, like it's having like for like 4 insights for a month, like having just go through and actually look at actionable insights, not just consultation offers. I think it would actually be a good deal. Like I personally think the paper insight model makes sense. I know that the 90% off positions it badly, but I want to actually test the concept out with a couple of people and see how it works. So yeah, this offer obviously is currently live. You just add it to cart or pay directly, and this I believe leads you directly to the checkout with the product, right? Yep. And you can pay with whatever you want. So yeah. So yeah, if you're following the live stream, watching a recording, you can get this offer if it's maybe available as a time if you're watching. Maybe it's not available, but I think it's a decent deal to test the concept out as well. I'd appreciate to test it out. I have done the work with clients quite a lot over the years, so mainly focused on just testing out the concept itself and setting up some processes around around this concept. So that's why I'm getting a discounted offer with people to try it out. So I don't need to like do extensive marketing for it right away, just testing out with a couple people, getting feedback, maybe working on that, because I plan to do it as a monthly subscription. So now when I work with a couple people on it, I can notice like how it's positioned. Maybe it's actually better to just send, just like with my consultations, sell it in bulk. Sell it in bulk, like 5-10 insights, and then you can basically choose at what cadence you're receiving them or something. Basically, you just buy them, or maybe it's still is a weekly, but you just buy the bulk instead of subscription. Maybe something like that, or maybe just buy like those bulk insights on SEO, for example, and I just sell them at like $100-$200 per insight, and you choose which category you will be having them in, and that kind of thing. But that's why I want to test it out, because the price will obviously go up no matter what. There's no way I would be selling this offer at $49, considering the amount of hours I will need to invest with each client. Anyway, yeah, I think our live stream is done. I ended up talking myself for the last like 15-20 minutes, but it's a nice try for the live stream. Tomorrow I'll be back talking about maybe I'll go back a little bit into my Roblox SEO again, but one of the key points is I might even return back to the one of the roasts I did and see how the new thing looks like after the roast. And what else was I looking for? Oh yeah, yeah. I think I might return to some roasts I've done in the past, or I might even explain a little bit more in this paper insight process tomorrow, and how am I looking at it and like what that means. That might actually be a little bit more topic again for tomorrow, just more deeper things that I can also maybe later cut in pieces and publish on YouTube as a video. That could make sense. Maybe it does. Anyway, hopefully the mic was not too low today, though. Feels like sometimes I'm speaking into the mic, but because I'm turning away, the sound doesn't. Maybe sometimes misses. Isn't as loud? Not sure. Hopefully it's not. Feels like it's fine, but okay. No, I'm just looking at my mic sound. Definitely feels like Francesco was louder than I am. And that was mostly because my mic is like reduced boost or something. Or is it like even like, does it help for me to move it closer? Does it? It does a little bit, but not much. Not on the bar I'm looking at. Whatever. Need to work on the positioning the mic better. All right. I guess it's finally enough for today. Yeah, I saw these live streaming every day this week. So see you in the next one tomorrow. All right, I have some consultations tomorrow as well, so I need to make sure I schedule it for myself. See you tomorrow.